To the Prime Minister on this is, please make sure you make yourself available for scrutiny by this House and by everybody else, because we represent people who are desperately worried about their health, about their economic well-being. And if you're living in a small flat and you're told to isolate and you have a large family and a large number of children, the levels of stress are going to be huge.
Welcome to our followers in breaking news. When all is said and done, the history books should remember Jeremy Corbyn fondly. As the exit poll was released on the 12th of December, the Liberal establishment breathed a huge sigh of relief. The mission they started in 2015 was finally accomplished. They pounded the door relentlessly, until it eventually gave in. So as Corbyn stood for his final PMQs, it marked the end of an era. It was perhaps fitting that it took place in a desolate House of Commons. It represented the nature of his battle throughout his tenure. A lone battle against the entire weight of the Westminster establishment, from the commentators to journalists to the MPs. Inevitably, those to the right of Corbyn's ideology wasted no time expressing their sheer joy at his departure. The Labour MP for Bermondsey and Old Southwark, Neil Coyle, took to Twitter to do what the right wing of the party have done throughout, and censured him. Labour's worst ever leader, he claimed. Former Labour MP Anna Turley was quick to join the party. Thank God. Is that it? Is it over? So much damage done, she affirmed. That brief Twitter exchange encapsulated the bitter tendencies a plethora of Corbyn's own party peers held towards him. But he ploughed on. That is why the idea that his leadership was non-existent is critically perplexing. He was undermined from the very start, but he did not let it get in the way of the task at hand. There are different types of leaders. There are those who lead by example, there are the inspirational ones, and then the level-headed ones who keep their eye on the prize at all times. Corbyn was a combination of them all. He won the 2015 Labour leadership contest with ease as he amassed 59.5% of the vote, a figure that dwarfed Tony Blair's mandate in 1994. He was fully aware that his own party colleagues disapproved. So, he responded maturely, giving many of his critics senior roles in his shadow cabinet in a bid to unite the party. But still there was no appeasing them. In a coordinated plot in 2016, orchestrated by Hilary Benn, the shadow foreign secretary at the time, a host of shadow ministers resigned from their posts to accentuate the lack of confidence they had in Corbyn. Included were Lisa Nandy and Keir Starmer, two of the three candidates in the current leadership race. Eventually what followed was a no-confidence vote, before another leadership election in September 2016. Rather than resort to vitriolic rhetoric and vulgar tactics after being brazenly backstabbed, it was business as usual for Corbyn. He campaigned, he connected, and he collected. Hence, he bettered his result of 2015, garnering 61.8% of the vote. It was the second time in as many years he was bundled to the ground, but both times he fought back in a dignified manner. His harshest critics conveniently ignored that he was making the Labour Party a large-scale, engaging and appealing party again. The twilight years of Ed Miliband's rule had the membership at approximately 200,000. Corbyn increased it to more than 750,000 within a few years. The ideas that large swathes of the population believed in, but were hitherto suppressed and dismissed as impractical, suddenly became mainstream under Corbyn. Corbyn yearned for a world where a robust commitment to the welfare state, increased public spending and ergo less austerity would be front and center. And it goes further. There was a determination to organize the working class and invest in their communities whilst concurrently energizing youth engagement. Nationalizing public utilities was also a prime concern alongside the need for an anti-imperial foreign policy based on human rights and peace, and finally, a green industrial revolution. But often such ideas were derided. However, the details speak for themselves. It is an inescapable fact that with Corbyn at the helm, those disillusioned with the direction of the party under its previous leaders, as well as those who did not otherwise think a simpler and more honest politics was ever possible, coupled with those who wanted genuine change but were not represented, suddenly found a political home. Thanks for watching, have a good time.